Hello, good morning, viewers. You're welcome to another interesting program on Idea TV, the newspaper review. I am Gabriel Matthew Seriki, and today we'll be taking a look at what the Guardian have to say about what is trending in the political sector, the business sector, and the health sector. We have the Guardians, the Tribune, and we also have the Weekend, not forgetting the Vanguard. So a quick start, we'll take a look at what the Guardian has to say. On the front page of the Guardian this morning, we have boldly written there, Rivers political crisis deepens. Rivers political crisis deepens. Then under it, we have State Assembly direct Chief Judge to set up panels to investigate Governor Fubara deputy. And we also have court halts process for 7 days. Court halts process for 7 days. Then we also have 4 lawmakers opposed to Governor deputy. Remover make U-turn. That is still talking about the Rivers State political crisis that has really deepened in Rivers State. That is on page 2 of the Guardian. So you can quickly take a look on that and read more on what they have to say on the river political crisis that has really deepened in the state. So going further, on the front page, still on the Guardian, we have, according to Alfred Ogene, it says, I am in severe pain. How mishandled medical procedure devastates. I am in severe pain. How mishandled medical procedure devastates Ogene's life. So you can take a look at that and read more on that. So going further, we have on page 32, just close to the page 9, we have why we must fix our political varsities. Why we must fix our political varsities. So this is still talking about political issues that needs to be fixed in that aspect. Still on the Guardian, going down on the Guardian, and not forgetting the Rivers political crisis that has deepened. So of course, we can see the picture of Fubara, Governor Fubara there, boldly there, then followed by Ngozi Ngozima, then Simeon Amadi. So you can take a look at that, what they have to say about Rivers State political issues there. So just under it, on page 2 of still on the Guardian, we have undeclared 40 million US dollars. Supreme Court uphold conviction of Lamido's son. Undeclared $40 million dollars. Supreme Court uphold conviction of Lamido's son. We can see the issues of the Lamido's son that is still on the newspaper review there. So you can get a look on that and see what they have to say on Lamido's son that has been convicted of 40,000 US dollars that has by the Supreme Court to uphold conviction. So just on page 3, still on the Guardian, we have NNPCL is a reliable engine of economic growth, says Ajulari. NNPCL is a reliable engine of economic growth, says Ojulari. That is on page 3, still on the Guardian. Then on the last page of the Guardian, on page 3, BC Akande at 87, Sanwo-Olu Yelwatada. Pardon? BC Akande at 87, Sanwo-Olu Yelwatada exalts elder statesmen, democratic ethos. That is on the page 3, still on the Vanguard. Then on the last page of the Vanguard, we also have Senator Bob's on burdens of legislator in Nigeria. Senator Bob on the burdens of legislator in Nigeria. That is on the last page of the Guardians. So you can quickly take a look at what they have to say on the whole trending stories on the Guardian this morning. So moving further, we also have on the Punch this morning. On the Punch this morning, we have boldly written how families risk life to enter Niger Republic Sokoto residents. How families risk life to enter Niger Public Sokoto resident. This is still coming as a case of the insecurity in Nigeria. You can take a quick look at that. That is on the page 4 of the Punch. We can see boldly written there. It's a terrorist Bello 2G threats. Terrorist Bello 2G threats. That is just before how family risk life to enter Niger Republic Sokoto residents. We all know the issue of insecurity there, so you can quickly take a look at that and see what they have to say on that. Still on the Punch, we have on page, I think on page 4 of the Punch, impeachment, Fubara, River lawmakers in showdown. You can see the picture of Steve Fubara there. Impeachment, Fubara, River lawmakers in showdown. Governors plotting our recall, he must go. Governor plotting our recall, he must go. That is saying by the assemblies. That is still on the River case issue there. Then on top of it, I think we have in entertainment, Davido alleged baby mama dashed over paternity claim. Davido alleged baby mama that clashes over paternity claim. That is talking about Davido there on entertainment. All right, going further, we have on the page still on the Punch, we have grim stories of healthcare workers targeted, killed by bandits. Grim story of healthcare workers targeted, killed by bandits. That is a sad one there. That is a sad one. All right, going further, we have on page 5, still on the Punch. It says Royal Rumble, Alaafin waits litigation. Royal Rumble, Alaafin waits litigation over Oyo Council leadership. That is still talking about the litigation by Oyo Council leadership on a Royal Rumble and in Alaafin. In Oyo State, in Oyo State. So you can quickly look at that and see what the story is saying on that. So going further on page 2, I think we have the foreign news. You see Trump visa policy trapped us in Nigeria. American family. Wow. This is another interesting story that we quickly need to look at. I see Trump visa policy trapped us in Nigeria. American family. All right, you can take a look at that and see what those American families are saying about the Trump visa that has trapped the 2 American citizens in Nigeria. All right, going further on the down page, on page 30, Nigerians sleep in waste bin amid UK deportation threat. Nigerians sleep in waste bin amid UK deportation threat. All right, going down to the last page, you also have a Lagos order postmortem as twin dies after vaccination. That is on health issues. We can see what is going on there. It's Lagos orders postmortem as twins dies after vaccination. That is a crazy one. That is not a good news at all. I think on the health sector there, they really need to know what is going on there to avoid the dying of kids in hospital and in healthcare there. All right, moving on further, we have on the New Telegraph, Saturday Telegraph, on the New Telegraph, on the front page of the New Telegraph this morning, going further on the New Telegraph, we have on the front page, of the New Telegraph, we have Nigeria hasn't learned lesson. Nigerian hasn't learned lesson besides by bad leadership. It says Nigerian hasn't learned lesson besides by bad leadership. That is on page 30. Then under it we have civilian government in Nigeria worsen than any military rule I have experienced, according to Utomi. It says civilian government in Nigeria worsen than any military rule I have experienced in Nigeria. That is coming from Utomi. Then just under it, we have looting, deteriorating educational standard, election fraud, insecurity, pervasive, by Professor Dike. That is coming in from Professor Dike. He says looting, deteriorating educational standard, election fraud, insecurity, pervasive. That is according to Professor Dike, still on the New Telegraph. That is what he has to say there. Then under it, still on the front page of the New Telegraph, we have overall, we have progressed, but not in any way that reflects our potential, says Pugu. Overall, we have progressed, but not in any way that reflects our potentials, says Pugu. That is coming in from Pugu, still on the New Telegraph this morning. Then on the front page, on the New Telegraph, at the up page of it, we have the picture of Peter Obi, Then we also have, you see, FG, prioritizing waste, corruption, lies. Obi. We have, you see, FG, prioritizing waste, corruption, lies. Obi. That is coming on page 4 of the Telegraph. You can see the picture of Peter Obi there. Then just close to it, on the head sex segment, the silent room on page 28 and 29. It says, the silent room, ensuring safety under anesthesia. The silent room, ensuring safety under anesthesia. State of patients at the time of presentation must be considered. Onajule, by Onajule. That is coming in as a reminder on the health sector, and it's just telling us how safety measures can be taken under anesthesia in the surgical room. All right, going further, by the right of the New Telegraph, we have on page 2, Interior Defense Minister assures of improved security. Interior Defense Minister assures of improved security. It is to set up to set up inter-ministerial CCT on effective synergy. To set up inter-ministerial CCT on effective synergy. Coming up on that is on page 2 of on the New Telegraph. You can get a look on all those topics and trending stories and digest them and see what they have to say on that. Then still on page 8, we have Council of Obas. Council of Obas, Oyo Civil Society Group rejects rational chairmanship. Oyo Civil Society Group rejects rational chairmanship. That is coming in on page 8 of the New Telegraph. So these are trending stories. Then under it, we also have the picture. See trending the picture of Fubara on the New Telegraph. That is on page 2. It says presidency sources. Tinubu won't let Rivers crisis degenerate as court holds Fubara's impeachment. Presidency sources. Tinubu won't let Rivers crisis degenerate as court holds Fubara's impeachment. That is still coming in as the issues of Rivers governorship crisis in Rivers State, still on Fubara. It says case adjourned to January 23rd for hearing. Case adjourned to January 23rd for hearing. All right, you can get that on page 2 of the Telegraph. Then under it, we have on page 6, still on the Telegraph this morning, Akande at 87. Only qualitative education can stop insecurity in Nigeria. That is Akande at 87. Only quantitative education can stop insecurity in Nigeria. You need to go through this to really know what it means by only quantitative education can stop insecurity in Nigeria. I don't know what that really means, but I believe if you get a hold of it, read it and digest and see what Akande has to say on the insecurity that has to do with education. He says, according to his opinion, it's only quantitative education can stop insecurity in Nigeria. All right, going further on page 4 of the Telegraph, I think that is the last page we have on the New Telegraph. On page 4, it says, Edo, kidnappers threatens to kill victim as another resident escape. That is a sad one. In Edo State, it says, kidnappers threatens to kill victim as another resident escape. This is a sad one also coming in from Edo State. We know how the case of kidnapping has really been disturbing the household and the people of Edo State, and how they have been faced over through the ending of last year. Will I say? Starting from the middle of last year, the kidnapping rate in Edo State has been so much, and we really need to look at that to see what is really going on in Edo State. I think the government and the security needs to come in place to know what is the major issue, how this insecurity can really be amended. Because going on these insecurity matters, I have been looking at Facebook and some other social medias, how the issue, or even some on we have to see on the CCTV, how kidnappers came and kidnapped one particular man that was kidnapped recently. All right, please, the state government needs to look at that in Edo State to really cure and to set up a security panel to look into this issue of kidnapping that continually happens in Edo State. It's not a good one, it's a sad one. All right, moving further, we have on the Tribune this morning, we'll be going through the Tribune this morning. On the Tribune, the first, you can see on the headline of the Tribune, we have chaotic drama as River Court holds Fubara's impeachment. Still talking about Fubara's impeachment. This is a very interesting story, and Fubara has really been trading on all the newspaper page this morning. It's a chaotic drama as River Court holds Fubara's impeachment. You can get that on page 3. The lawmakers insist on sacking governor. Lawmakers insist on sacking governor. He said they have each. He said they have each taken 350 million. State governor. That is accusing on state governors Cross River. You can get that on page 3 and read it and see what they have to say on that. So going on the front page of the Tribune, on page 5, we have Imam who saved 300 Christians in Plateau crisis die. This story has really been trending in the news. It has been flying on all social media about the Imam that saved the Christians during the massacre of genocide of Christians in Plateau State. How he saved them, that was I think some time past, and he has been killed. You know, he has been killed, and it's not a good one. It's not a good one. All right, you can grab that on page 5 of the Tribune and see what they have to say there. Then on page 10, still of the Nigerian Tribune on Saturday, suspected sisters, how my brothers lured my friend to her death. That is also a sad one. Suspect sisters. It says how my brother lured my friend to her death. That is a sad one. You can take a look at that story and see what they have to say on that. Then on page 3, see on the Tribune, we have Bodija explosion. Bodija explosion. Makinde pledges continued support for victim. Bodija explosion. Makinde pledges continued support for victim. Victim speaks on experience. That is talking about the explosion that recently happened, and how Makinde is pledging how to continue to supporting the victims. All right, you can take a look at that and see what they have to say on that aspect. Going on further, we have on page 5 of the Tribune, just the down page on page 5, we have alleged 4.5 billion fraud. Emefiele. So Emefiele's co-defendants claim EFCC forced him to frame ex-CBN governor. Wow. That is an interesting story. He said alleged 4.5 billion fraud. Emefiele's so-called defendants claim EFCC forced him to frame ex-CBN governor. That is an interesting story there on page 5. Take a look at that and see what Emefiele has to say about framing, that he was framed. I think he has his own part to say there. So you can get a quick grip of that and see what they have to say on page 5 of the Tribune. So moving on further, on page 4, still on the Tribune, we have the Supreme Court orders continuation of trials of ex-governor Lamido, sons in alleged 1.35 billion corruption cases. This is another interesting story. Supreme Court orders continuation of trial of ex-governor Lamido's son in alleged 1.35 billion corruption cases. That's talking about Lamido's son on the new corruption cases that has been trending. Can get that on page 4 and see what they have to say on that. Then moving on further, the last page of the Tribune, on page 12 and 21, it says, "My husband made me swear that I will never have sex with any other man. I am doomed if we are divorced. Woman tells court." This is a very funny one. You can take a look at that. It says, "My husband made me swear that I will never have sex with any other man. I am doomed if we are divorced. Woman tells court." Still under it, we have, "She always spend the night with a widower in our neighborhood." Her husband is allegedly accusing the wife on that she will never have sex with any other man. All right. I think we'll go in on a quick break right now. Then when we come back, we'll continue from the weekends. When we come back, we'll continue from the weekends and the Vanguard. Stay tuned.
Hi, welcome to Idea TV, the first innovation television. At Idea TV, we bring you cutting-edge stories, insights, and shows that redefine innovation across Africa and beyond. Get ready to upgrade your mind. Idea TV, is your go-to destination for the latest trending news, cutting-edge tech, and innovative ideas that shape our future. From technology and innovations, business, health, education and agriculture, climate solutions, science and research. Stay ahead of the curve with us at Idea Television.
Number 1. Synthetic biology advances. Synthetic biology is pushing science into new territory. Using AI-guided gene editing, researchers are engineering organisms to produce biofuels, biodegradable plastics, and even synthetic meat. In 2023, Ginkgo Bioworks announced partnerships to design microbes that can manufacture sustainable chemicals at scale. Moderna and BioNTech are expanding mRNA technology beyond COVID vaccines to treat cancer and rare genetic diseases. The global synthetic biology market is expected to surpass $30 billion by 2030. By 2026, the line between biology and technology will blur even further, making synthetic biology one of the most transformative fields of the decade. So there you have it, 15 more technologies that, alongside the first 17 we covered, are set to define 2026. Together, they show how quickly innovation is moving beyond our screens and into every corner of our life, from the materials we use to the way we connect and even how we think. And if you missed part 1, make sure to check it out next. If you made it this far, let us know what you think in the comment section below. For more interesting topics, make sure you watch the recommended video that you see on the screen right now.
All right, you're welcome back from the short break. Still on Idea Television, the Innovation Century of the Year. This is still newspaper review this morning. So we're still going further on, we dive in quickly on the weekends. Let's see what the weekend has to say. The news trending on the weekend this morning. On the front page of the weekend, we have Kano realignment, the winner, the loser. Kano realignment, Kano realignment, the winner, the loser. Coming in from page 4 of the weekend this morning. Then we also have on page 24, still on the weekend, the up page there, we have the picture of Ahamba, which is the sun. It says, let's set apart a little. Let's set apart a little to be together, Chief Mike Ahamba, which is the SAN. He said, let's set apart a little to be together, Chief Mike Ahamba son. So you can take a look at that, the newspaper this morning on weekend to see what Chief Mike has to say on the setting up apart this morning. Then going on further, on page 30 of Still the Weekend, we have Plateau Imam, who sheltered Christian during attack, is dead. That is talking about the Imam that sheltered the Christian genocide attack of almost about 300 Christians during the attack of Christian. That was killed. That story has really been trending. It's not a nice one. It's a sad story that needs to be looked at, and how to stop insecurity still in Nigeria that has been disturbing our political and our economic sector as a citizen in Nigeria. All right, moving on further, we have on page 11. On page 11, still on the weekend, we have scars that won't heal 60 years after coup. Scars that won't heal 60 years after coup. That is also a story that you can lay your hand on and read and see what they have to say about scars that won't heal, talking about the different things that has happened during these past 60 years, starting from the independence and what has really transpired, and why things cannot be healed, and why things continue the way they are, in the country. So you can take a look at that and see what they have to say on that. That's on page 11. On page 11 of the weekend. All right, moving on further, we have on page 31. On page 31 of the weekend, we have FG abandoned 7 billion agric ministry building sink. FG abandoned 7 billion agric ministry building sinks. 11 billion on new site. Wow. That is another story that you can look at and see what they have to say there on still on the weekend. On the weekend, going on further still on the weekend, on page 16 of the weekend, it says alleged 1.3 billion fraud. Scott void Lamido's son acquittal. That's still talking about Lamido's son on the alleged fraud of 1.3 billion fraud on the Lamido's son case. So you can take a look at what the Weekend has to say on that and read it for your more understanding. All right, going on to the last page we have for today, we have on the Vanguard. On the Vanguard today, we're taking a look boldly on the Vanguard. We have a picture of a lady there, that is Claudia Narisiwa. He said, stalemate in Rivers. Okay, this is talking about the Rivers cry on page 10. On page 10. Stalemate in Rivers. Houses proceed with plans to impeach Fubara, deputy. Sent letters to Chief Judge. Houses proceed with plans to impeach Fubara. Deputy sends letter to Chief Judge. That is still talking about the Rivers tussle that has been happening in Rivers State by Fubara and the other lawmakers there. Okay, still under it, we have still on page 10. Court stops CJ from Court stops CJ from receiving acting on letter. Court stops CJ from receiving acting on letter. Then we still go further on, still on the down page of the Vanguard. We have Fubara plotted for our constituency to recall us rather than seek peace. Lawmakers, that is the lawmakers are saying that Fubara plotted for our constituency to recall us rather than seek peace. That is coming in from the lawmakers. So you can get a lay hand on page 10 of the Vanguard. That is talking about the Rivers crisis that has really been going on for a while now, coming in from the lawmakers. All right, going on further on page 12 of still the Vanguard, the last paper we have for today. It says 60 years after January 1966 incursion was not Igbo. Coup but Zik. Ironsi Ojukwu news about it. That is General Alabi Isama. That is coming in from General Alabi Isama. Says Ironsi Ojukwu foiled it. That is coming in on page 12. 60 years, let me take it again. It says 60 years after January 1966 incursion was not Igbo. Coup but Zik. See, it was not Igbo, it was coup but Zik. Ironsi Ojukwu knew about it. General Alabi Isama. That is coming in from on page 12. So you can take a look at that and see what they have to say on the 60 years incursion. There's 1996 incursion that was not Igbo coup, that was not Igbo coup plan. Says Ironsi Ojukwu knew that Ojukwu knew about the coup and the plotting. All right, moving on further. On page 23 of still the Vanguard, they say Operation Waities in retrospect. Operation Weighty in retrospect. That is coming in on page 23 of still the Vanguard, so you can take a look at that and see what they have to say on that. Then on page 24, the down page of the Vanguard, we have defection of Atiku son. Defection of Atiku son, symbolic corpse to APC, personal matters to family. Defection of Atiku son, symbolic corpse to APC, personal matters to family. This is still coming in from the Atiku son that has defected from PDP to APC. So he is saying that it's a personal family matter. This has been trending since yesterday. I think throughout this week it has been trending on how Atiku son is defecting from PDP to APC. He is saying this is a personal matter, it's a family matter. It does not have to do with maybe a political or public affair. All right, still going on further on page 6. On page 6, we have Obi, you see, $9 million lobbying contract. $9 million lobbying contract. Obi's decrease wasteful spending. Obi decrease wasteful spending. Image management or misplaced priority. That is still on page 19. So, so this is what we have for page on Vanguard this morning. But going over to the Punch. There's something I want to really affirm there on the Punch newspaper, on the front page of the Punch, where we have how family risk life to enter Niger Republic. Let's move over to the Punch. I just want to highlight something there on the Punch. How family risk life to enter Niger Republic, Sokoto resident. you know, this is a case of insecurity that has really disturbed the peace of this country. And I think if we don't really take a grip of to know what to do in this issue of insecurity, it's going to be really deteriorating. Taking a look at what the bandits and the insecurity aspects is really causing to this country, I think this is the time that our government and our security agency really needs to come together to make things work in this country. They are trying. Our military is really trying. We need to give them accolades. President Tinubu is trying and curing and to stopping this nemesis of insurgency. All right, so and going over to a quick recap of the newspaper headline this morning on The Guardian, where we have Rivers political crisis deepens. Rivers political crisis deepens. That is on the front page of The Guardian. So you can take a look on that and see what is going on in the Rivers State. Then still on the Punch, we also have impeachment. Fubara Rivers lawmaker in showdown. She's talking about Fubara, so you can take a look at that and see what they have to say on Fubara cases in Rivers State. Then on the Telegraph this morning, we also have boldly written on the Telegraph, Nigeria hasn't learned lessons beside by said leadership. All right, you can still take a look at that. That is boldly written on the Telegraph. These are all caution on leadership in Nigeria and how they can cure the nemesis and the bad side of a leadership that is not be favoring the Nigerian citizens in Nigeria. Then in Tribune, we also have boldly written in the front page of the Tribune, we have a chaotic drama as River Court holds Fubara's impeachment, still coming in on Fubara's cases in River State. So these are all front page that can really grab your attention, and you look at it and see what they're really saying about the trending and the news around the Rivers State political sector. So going on further, we have The Weekend. On the front page of The Weekend, where we have Kano realignment, the winner, the loser. Kano realignment, the winner and the loser. So that is here on the page 4 of The Weekend. Take a look at that and see what they have to say on that. Then the last page, a quick recap on the last page of the Vanguard this morning. Pardon, the last page of the Vanguard, where we have stalemate in Rivers. Still talking about Rivers State crisis. It says House proceed with plans to impeach Fubara. Deputy sends letter to Chief Judge. This is still a chaotic case of the Rivers State crisis. Of Fubara and the lawmakers, where the lawmakers have to come and say that Fubara plotted for our constituency to recall us rather than seek peace. So you can get a grip of all this newspaper headline and digest it and see what they have to say on the stories. All right, this is where we have to call it a recap of today. To meet tomorrow again the same time to bring you headlines, trendings in politics and health and in business. Thank you for your time. Thank you for staying tuned. I am Gabriel Matthew Seriki. Thank you for your time.